I wanted to mention, earlier I mentioned sensor networks. I wanted to mention one that I have in the house. This is a commercial product. It was made by a company called Archrock, which has been acquired recently by Cisco. They run 6-LoWPAN IPv6 radio mesh network. So each of the sensors is in fact a small store and forward node. It's maintaining connectivity by measuring radio linkages among all the devices in the house. Each of the rooms of the house, 12 principal rooms of the house, has a sensor that is measuring temperature, humidity, and light levels every 5 minutes. That information is recorded in a server in the basement, and I get reports twice a day on what the status of the house network is. One of the rooms in the house is very important to me. It's the wine cellar. It has a couple thousand bottles of wine in it, and so that room has been alarmed. If the temperature goes above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, an alarm goes off and I get an SMS on my mobile. A few months back, I was visiting the Argonne National Laboratory in the state of Illinois in the United States, and as I was walking in the door, the mobile went off. It was the wine cellar calling. And it said, you've just broken through the 60-degree Fahrenheit barrier. Unfortunately, my wife was away on holiday, so she wasn't there to reset the cooling system. For 3 days, every 5 minutes, I got a note saying, your wine is warming up. So I called the Archrock guys and said, do you make remote actuators? And they said yes, and I said, okay, that's a weekend project. We need to install a remote actuator to turn on the cooling system. And then I thought we'd better put in very strong authentication so the 15-year-old next door doesn't reprogram my house while I'm away. Then I got to thinking, I can tell if someone has gone into the wine cellar because I can see the lights going off and on in the recording of light levels, but I don't know what they did in there. So I thought, well, why don't I put an RFID chip on each bottle? And then I can do an instantaneous inventory of all the bottles in the wine cellar. That would tell me if any bottle has left the wine cellar without my permission. And then one of my engineer friends was debugging the design, and he said, you could go into the wine cellar and drink the wine and leave the bottle. So I have some debugging to do to fix this design. In the end, this turns out to be a very practical kind of system to have, though, because now I'm going to have to put sensors in the cork of each bottle. And as long as you're going to that much trouble, you might as well